Hey there, Wargamers, Justin, your painter here, and today we're going to talk about some Alpha Strike. I'd like to welcome you guys back to the channel. Thank you so much for supporting what I do. If you're new here, hit that like, subscribe button, buckle up. We're going to talk about some Battletech Alpha Strike, and I've got a variety of things here to talk about today. First and foremost, big shout out to Fortress Miniatures and Games. Mr. Bobby Ash here has done a lot to help support what I do, and he's a local, so if you're looking for anything Battletech related, head on over to his website. We'll have a link in the description below. And second big shout out to Dave Alsiger from the Battletech community. He does a lot of things in the background that some of you guys may or may not know if you are supporters of what I do, or you hang out at Southern Assault or purchase stuff from Bobby. Dave Alsiger does a lot on the back end to help out with Southern Assault and just answer general Battletech questions and discords and things of that nature. I've got a few boxes here that he contributed when I was doing my unboxing videos. I'd already painted minis from it and parted things out, and he had sent some boxes for me to just keep and to be able to do the unboxings with on my YouTube channel, with the caveat being that if I do something with them to honor his buddy, I believe a friend of his passed. I think he said he played Merrick for World's League, something like that. But he wanted me to use these to help grow the game, do something with the community, not just like sell it and profit from it. So I've still got a couple of boxes here from him that he sent, and I haven't painted the minis yet, but I've got a bunch of stuff trying to do content to do right by them, and at some point trying to do some local games and some how to plays, learn to plays, intro to Battletech or Alpha Strike type stuff. So with the preamble there set, what are we going to talk about today? So we've got a variety of boxes here, and I have done unboxing videos on a Game Armor Combat, Clan Invasion, the beginner box, Alpha Strike, and the new beginner box. So if you are in the market, it's over the holidays, you're thinking about getting something for a friend, maybe getting something for yourself, or asking for something as a gift, check out those unboxing videos. Will help you discern what it is that's in these and may help the information I'm going to talk about today make your decision-making process a little bit easier. So if you're looking to get into Battletech Alpha Strike, the first thing you're probably curious about is like, what do I need? There's a few obvious things that aren't up here. You're going to need some dice, measuring tapes, game mat, hopefully some terrain, which we at Death Designs also make. Those are the obvious things that you're going to need for doing any kind of wargaming stuff. So I'm going to assume you have access to that, access to a computer, access to master unit list. If you're not familiar with what that is, I will have a video at some point breaking down what that is, the utility, and how it is super powerful if you know how to sift through and search for things in that actual list builder or unit kind of database that's provided for us. But at the beginning here, what boxes should you look into? I do want to preface this by saying we're not going to talk about the force packs today. I do have unboxing videos on all of those on the channel, at least what is out to date. So if you're interested in seeing what's in those, check out the channel. You can see the unboxings. Those are a little bit more specific because those are you literally picking what mechs you want to play with. To get started with Alpha Strike though, there are a few other things that I think are important and easy to get you into the game and keep your investment level low. So first and foremost, I highly recommend two things to start with. The first thing here is the Alpha Strike box. Now this box right here has just come out. They've had it at a couple of conventions and shows. I've got some unboxing or an unboxing video breaking this down as well. It is a heck of a value. So this box at retail MSRP is $79.99. You're going to get 5 clan mechs and 8 Inner Sphere mechs. So 2 lances of Inner Sphere, 1 star of clan mechs, in addition to some fold-out terrain, some paper kind of terrain, or cardstock terrain, it's pretty nice, and some battlefield support cards, which is another element to Alpha Strike that is often overlooked because people don't use it. So $80 MSRP for that. That's a great place to start if you purchase only this. There's enough in here to get started. Basic rules on how to play Alpha Strike for you and a friend to play, and that could be all that you need, assuming that you can get this. When this is out right now, I think Fortress currently has pre-orders up. Catalyst is currently selling them at cons, I think on their website, but actual stores have not got it as of filming this. That may change by the time this video goes up. So if you've picked up your Alpha Strike box, or if you're looking at picking up an Alpha Strike box, you may be wondering, well, why this instead of any of this? So the first thing I would say is the Game Armor Combat and these other boxes are a hell of a value. They are very good. The big difference between Alpha Strike and a Game Armor Combat is it is $20 more. However, you're getting 13 mechs versus 8. So if you're interested in getting a complete package and trying to get into it, This is going to be an easier way for you and a friend to split and play, because you have the clan stuff versus the inner sphere stuff, whereas the Game of Armor Combat is only 2 lances of inner sphere, so 8 mechs. But it is $20 more. So what would you have to do to mirror that value? So you're paying $80 versus $60, so $79.99 versus I think $49.99. Let me check that. Sorry, $59.99. I knew I was going to get something wrong. So again, $20 difference basically, 5 more mechs. To match that for Game of Armor Combat, you would have to pick up the Clan Invasion box here. The Clan Invasion box is $49.99. So $59.99, $49.99, $10 difference. That's going to net you 5 more clan mechs and 2 battle armor. That's the main difference between it. If you buy both of these, you're going to get 2 battle armor over this. That's the main difference. The components inside of this are also tailored for Battletech, classic Battletech, not Alpha Strike. So if you're following me on the math here, we've got one $79.99, we've got one $59.99, and one $49.99. So if you were trying to get into Alpha Strike and you wanted to match what comes in this box with these boxes, you're going to be looking at $60 plus $50, $110, right? $110, yeah, $110 versus $80. The only difference is you're missing out on 2 battle armor in here. So is the $30 difference between these two and this one to get the same number of models worth it to you to get the 2 battle armor that come in here? I would say no. If you're a new player, you could pick up an actual star of battle armor for probably less than $30. So you could make up that difference. If you are interested in classic Battletech, the extra things that come here, the mech sheets, the unit cards and stuff like that, will be useful for you. But if you're trying to get an Alpha Strike, this is the easy way to get in quickly. So we'll get back to these boxes in a moment, but we're going to move on to what I think is the secondary or add-on purchase to do with Battletech Alpha Strike. Now, while this box may be everything that you need in one place, it is not the full complete rules. You'll be able to play it out of the box and get some basic games going, but if you want to get the full flavor of Alpha Strike, you're going to have to get a book. So for that, I highly recommend picking up the Alpha Strike Commander's Edition. Now this one's a little bit difficult to get. Sometimes it's out of stock in a lot of places, and this right here is going to come in at $39.99, sorry. All of these boxes and prices and things you can find online cheaper. If you have a local store support, I recommend doing that, especially if you play there. If you spend money there, that helps put food on the table for the store owner, but also keeps the doors open so that you can play games at that shop. But that being said, this book is the most recent copy of the Battletech Alpha Strike rules. Again, this is going to be coming in at $39.99. So if you added this with the box set here, that's $120. So at that point, you're looking at $10 more than buying Game of Armor Combat and Clan Invasion, but you get the full rule book, right? So increased value instead of buying these, get the same number of mechs with a book. Now, if you are interested in getting in, but you can't find that book, maybe you only found this one. This is the old one. This is the, I think, 2019 or 2020. Basically, this was the first printing from the Kickstarter, where they the Wave 1s, Wave 1 shipments of all the models came with this if you bought it. And then the Wave 2s came with this one, which has all the erratas and FAQs in it. You can see this one's used a bit more. I have all my notes and my little sticky notes and my cards and my papers in this one. This one's heavily used. This one is very new. Now, don't fret. If this is the only one that you can find, and right now Fortress has this one on sale for $25 because it is the old printing, you'll be just fine. For basic level, entry-level Battletech stuff, or excuse me, Alpha Strike stuff, this is going to do you just fine if it's all that you can find. I participated last year in Southern Assault 2021. This is the current book that was out. I still used this book. That's how little has changed. There are changes, but you can find the erratas and the FAQs and print those if this is all that you can find. If you can get this one and you have the funds, I highly recommend getting the new one because it has all the new stuff in here, especially if you're a new player, because it's all the information's fresh and you don't have to worry so much about the FAQ and errata changes that this one had. But don't let the difference in the books stand in your way. Either one of these will do you just fine until any major changes happen. And that's been a staple in the Battletech community for a while. A lot of the rulebooks and stuff they've done over the years, especially for Classic, haven't really changed. It's been minor stuff. and these two books, as far as I could tell, are no different. There's not a huge major difference, especially if you're not a hyper-competitive player. And like I said, I participated in Bobby's tournament last year using the out-of-date book, and most people probably don't even notice the difference. This year at Southern Salt 2022, a few rules changes in the actual current book did catch me off guard, but an opponent explained it to me, and it was just some minor changes that we didn't know until he printed out the pages. So things do change, but you'll be just fine with that. So, you now know, if you want to get started, you got the Alpha Strike box, you got a rule book. That's enough to get you started. But perhaps funds are a little bit more flush for you, perhaps it's the holidays, and you are trying to get together a holiday list for what you might want to ask for from friends and family, or things you might want to do for friends. Where should you go from here? If you've got the Alpha Strike box and a rule book, what would you do and why? So if you're looking at expanding your mech forces beyond the force packs, this is where this stuff here in the beginner box come into play, in my opinion. It has never been easier to get into Battletech, whether it's Classic or Alpha Strike, and the cost of the models is so low. When you're comparing Alpha Strike to, let's say, Warhammer 40k, or even Star Wars Legion, you're looking at hundreds of dollars for Legion, maybe $1,000 for 40k. You're at the low hundreds for Alpha Strike or less. You could literally just start with this box and a rule book. So 110 bucks, full MSRP, you're good to go. If you get it at a discount, you're sub $100. If you're looking to expand, however, and you've got a little bit extra cash, I think that the likely options for you are to consider picking up a Game of Armor Combat or Clan Invasion, or both. It's another $120 value on top, but that's going to net you another 13 mechs and 2 battle armor. Now, if you're only getting one, as I presented before, I think the Alpha Strike box plus the rulebook is the way to go. If you've got a little bit extra discretionary funds, this is going to double your force sizes, plus get you 2 battle armors, and you're going to get a variety of mechs. You're going to get some duplicates from across the 3, but you're going to get a nice variety and plenty of models for you and an opponent or friend to play with. Generally, when you're playing, if you're playing Inner Sphere, at whatever point you're playing, you're probably going to outnumber the clanners. So this is going to give you, you've got 8 mechs in here, 8 mechs in here, so 16 mechs. I think that's a reinforced company. I could be wrong, someone in the comments let me know. But that's going to give you 4 lances of mechs, right? Versus the 2 stars for the clanners, plus the battle armor. So it's still neck and neck. If you and a buddy are splitting it or you want to play, that's still plenty of stuff. It's still fluffy. It's still accurate. And it gives you a lot of variety in terms of what models you might want to bring to the table to bring destruction upon your foes. Now, if you're looking to maximize your collection opportunities, the last 2 boxes that you have here are the beginner boxes. Now, the beginner box here on the right has the Vindicator and a Griffin, and it comes in at $24.99 MSRP. The beginner box on my left here has a Wolverine and a Griffin, and it comes in at $19.99. This is the most recent printing, and if I am honest, if you are looking to pick up the Alpha Strike, maybe these boxes and one of these, skip the standard beginner box with the Griffin on the front. I'll explain why. This box here does cost $5 more, but you're getting a Griffin and a Vindicator. These boxes here do not have a Griffin or a Vindicator. This is the only way to get those 2 models. Now, the other beginner box does have a Griffin, but it has a Wolverine. The Wolverine already comes in a Game of Armor Combat. For me personally, if I was going to get 4 of these 5, I would select this one as my 4th one so that I get 2 unique mechs without duplicates. If you buy the other beginner box, you're going to get a secondary Wolverine. Maybe you want it, maybe you don't. For me, I like variety. If you get the beginner box here, and this is Game of Armor Combat, that is 10 unique mechs. No duplicates. If you get a Game of Armor Combat plus the beginner box plus the Clan Invasion, you're going to have 15 unique mechs plus 2 battle armor. Now, with the Alpha Strike box thrown in, you're going to have some overlaps or some duplicates because it's got a Timberwolf in here, which is a duplicate. I don't remember if this has the Fire Moth in it. Let's take a quick peek. This does not have the Fire Moth, so it looks like it's got the Nova, I think, or the Black Hawk. So you may have 1 or 2 duplicates from this one for the Clanners. You're going to have the Locust as a duplicate for the Inner Sphere, and I think the Stinger. Take a quick peek. No. So you are limited on the number of duplicates from here. You're not going to get as many, so it's not too bad. But it's a heck of a lot better to pick this one up than that one. So, if you were looking to get into Alpha Strike, what is the minimum investment to get you started? as we had said before, if you're keeping track, you've got $79.99 for the Alpha Strike box, plus $40 or $39.99 for the rulebook. At a minimum, at full MSRP, you're looking at $110 for the rulebook and Alpha Strike. If you want to expand, highly recommend Game Armor Combat and Clan Invasion. You're looking at $59.99 and $49.99. So you're looking at another 100 and was it 120? Can I not do math? I'm sorry. This is not 110. It's 120. I think I said the wrong number. So you've got man, losing my train of thought here. Too much stuff coming too fast. $79.99 plus the Alpha Strike rulebook at $40. So 120. I think I said 110. I'm sorry. 120. And if you want to add on for another 110, you can add on 15 more mechs and, or excuse me, 13 more mechs and 2 battle armor. That brings you up to 230 total. And as the final icing on the cake, you can make that a flat I don't say flat. It'd be a 255. Get you the beginner box added on, and that's going to give you 5 mechs, 2 battle armor, 8 more mechs, so 13 mechs, 2 battle armor, 2 more mechs, so 15 mechs, 2 battle armor, and then you're going to be adding on another 13. So that's a heck of a lot of mechs for sub $300, and this is all in standard wholesale, or not wholesale, retail pricing. If you happen to be shopping online because you don't have a local shop to support, or you just want to support Fortress Miniatures and Games, all of these are discounted. I think that he's got the Alpha Strike box up for, I think it's $69.99. It might be $59.99. 1 second. Ha! And just like that, I have confirmed it is $59.99 for this box. So he's got all of these things discounted at about the same rate. I think that's about 25% off, going from $80 to $60, $20 saving. So if you're looking at $255 to get all of these plus a rule book, minus, you know, between 20 or 10 to 20% off, something like that, you're coming out well ahead. Just a little over $200 at that point. Heck of a deal, and it's plenty of models. And honestly, if you want to go and start adding force packs after that, you're looking at $30 or less to get somewhere between 4 and 6 more models. A standard Inner Sphere Lance includes 4 models, and that's going to be between $20 and $25, give or take. A Clan box is going to be 5 models, and it's going to be between 25 and 30, depending on which one you get. And then the level 6, which I believe is the Comstar inspired one, I think those are 30 or 35 for 6 models. So it scales up as you get more, but it's very affordable, and then you can pick and choose what you want. And if a particular box has a mech that you do want, you don't want the other ones, the secondary market for trading is really good. You might be able to even buy a box with 4 mechs, 5 mechs, something like that in there. Pick out the one you want and then trade the other 3, 4 off, or sell them and pay for the box or increase your value depending on what it is you're trying to do. So don't let the overall investment to get in scare you too much. I know when you look at 40K and you're like, I gotta get a rule book, I gotta get an army, I gotta get all this stuff, it starts to pile up and be really expensive. Battletech Alpha Strike's not that way. You can gradually build, and you can play at a budget that, in my opinion, is palatable and approachable for almost anyone. Looking at this where it comes in at $60 plus the rulebook that Bobby has on sale as well, I think you can get the rulebook and that for sub $100. It's very hard to get into most mini games at that price point. Star Wars Legion's pretty affordable, but $100 isn't going to get you much. Maybe the 2-player starter, which is comparable, but this also you get the rulebook. You're probably not getting started in Warhammer 40K for $100. I don't even know if you could do War Machine or Hordes or their new game at anywhere in the same price point. So I think this is reasonable, especially if you have someone to play with. That being said, folks, I know that I was a little bit jumbled there, and really just excited to share my love of Battletech and Alpha Strike and try and give you guys some pointers on where to begin to get in and what you should purchase. Hopefully that helps. If you have any questions at all, sound off in the comments below. As always, if you enjoyed this, hit that like, subscribe. Hopefully we'll catch you guys in a future video. But as always, I've rambled too much, as I do. Keep painting those models, keep rolling those dice, and I will catch you guys next time.